7 is underway on EA Sports. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here we go, it's hot. 222, 222. Right.
Now Hall to start the drive. It's a room to maneuver. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 38 yards on the scamper there. He told us he wanted to have a big game running the football. He predicted well north of 100 yards. That's a heck of a start.
And we thought he was just blustering, right? We thought he was just kind of talking and trying to maybe talk himself into it. He knew something, and now that confidence is going sky high.
And they're already in plus territory. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Here we go. Go.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss.
Here we go, side. 158.
Here's Fields. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And Wilson in motion left. Fields. He'll try and do this himself. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
How many times do we hear that 3rd down may be the most important down in football, and there's no better example than what we just saw right there. Forced to scramble, knows where the 1st down marker is, dives for it, and gets it. What a big-time play, putting his body on the line to pick up a key 1st down.
Here we go. Green 19, 11, 11, 11. Right.
Here's Fields. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
2nd and 11.
Easy, 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 easy. Here we go, son.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. Fields now to throw. There's Hall bringing in another one. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcon 16. Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a 1st. Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time.
Garrett Wilson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are on the board first here this afternoon.
This is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you've gone somewhere, but you really haven't in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. And looking to throw, Penix. This one into the hands of Pitts. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play there for Atlanta. And even 50 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for first and 10. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson.
And able to work his way down to the 16. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 16-yard line.
Check. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
They'll run again here with Robinson. And he stopped immediately there. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. To the air, Penix. That ball is caught. It's London for the Atlanta touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
The kicker on for the
Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
First down, Jets. Here we go.
On first down, right back to Hall.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. These two teams all tied after one.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
Here we go.
Now Fields. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
Here we go. Easy, easy, easy. Green 19, get at the top. Hey, Chad. Go.
Now it's Fields.
And he comes back with one complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Back to throw. Fields.
And he completes it to Wilson. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
Throwing again is Fields. Going right back to Wilson.
Just a gain of a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Green 19, get at the top. Right.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields.
Going right side here, and that's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th.
Here we go. Good night. Blue 58, blue 58. Right.
And here's Fields on the sneak.
Well, they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Only needed a few inches to pick it up and get behind your center and burrow forward like he did.
And remember what the GMs have told us? We build an offensive line starting with our center. The guy who can make all the line calls.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Walker. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
To throw is Fields. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Here we go. Go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now Fields going to run. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
So many times I advocate not challenging coverage downfield, but on this play, I thought he made an excellent decision to actually do so. If that had been complete, that would have been one for the highlight reel.
And his kick is indeed good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And they were winners the last time they took the field, which was 2 weeks ago. They had the open week last week, so this is a squad that should be really refreshed and ready to roll.
I would agree because
it's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Falcons. A great play there. 68 yards. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 14-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they'll have this all the way out to the 50-yard line. Excellent field position.
To return to midfield, I just wish we could open up the heads of the offensive and defensive coordinators, because right now the wheels have to be spinning because things just changed. Offensive playbook just opens up, and now defense. Do you play aggressively, or do you load back a little bit to try to calm things down?
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
From the 50, here's Fields. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he'll wind up getting about 6 out of that, as that's going to lead us to the 2-minute warning. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Here is 3rd down and 4.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun. Fields. Throwing for the out route. He finds Wilson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
Here we go, son. Watch right.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
A yard, all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Here we go. Turn ball, right.
Out of the gun, Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to convert on third and short yardage with a gain of 4.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
On the out route, Dobbs brings it in.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's second down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
60 Bison, 60 Bison.
Now Penix. This pass is caught by London.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Looking to throw Penix. Here's a screen for Robinson.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Bijan Robinson.
An 11-yard touchdown.
And the Falcons will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 21-10 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw. Fields.
Here's one deep for Pickens. Oh, his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons are going to get the football here at their own 23.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Well, everybody was up there ready at the line of scrimmage, CD, but no snap, and the delay of game ensued.
Yeah, and I'm sure their head coach is asking the exact same thing. What's going on out there? Almost like they thought they had more time than actually was on the clock.
Viking 18.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
They'll throw with Penix. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Let's go.
Here's Penix. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. They find some open field here. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, they showed a 5-receiver set, had the backfield empty, and lined the running back out to the left. Plenty for the quarterback to process both pre and post snap, but he's able to find his man.
Well, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. And the Jets are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
They'll start on the ground. Hall.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Smith catches left side. Short completion, just 4 yards. And 3rd and 8 now.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
Here we go. 60 Eagle, 60 Eagle.
From the gun, Shock. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. He'll return it from the 6. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Alert! Alert! Check! Viking 18!
They begin the drive with Robinson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. He's to the 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Bijan Robinson, his 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the 33, here's 2nd down and 7. To throw is shot. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
That's going to be caught by Pitts. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
And the Falcons, first down. 1st and 10 at the 21.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. A tackle by Quincy Williams. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And looking to throw, Penix. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up. To the air, Penix. This ball nearly intercepted. A once-in-a-season chance for the big fella, but he couldn't corral it. 4th down, straight ahead. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And his kick is good. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
In every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing, Shuck. Pass complete, George Pickens with it. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Hard to believe this guy was watching us from his living room last week. Now he's under center here for an NFL team.
And not many teams were in the market to sign him, but you have to believe that this team felt like we saw something previously in this guy, and now he has a chance to prove it with us.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Shuck. And he'll be hit as he releases it. They now fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Jets on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And that is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll indeed go. Here's Shuck. Throwing quickly to Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. To the air again. Here's Shuck. This pass out wide to Hall. Takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another 1st. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Falcons will take over here at their own 12-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one is over a long time ago.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's complete to Dobbs. And brought down, but able to get get to their 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
That's another Falcons first down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Robinson gets the toss on the right side. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 116 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Let's go now. Liking 18.
He'll drop to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Battle. And the Jets will take over here at their own 12-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. He's got a man complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 87 yards. And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Well, this is exactly what I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, in that type of throw or this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
Let's go.
Again, it's Robinson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. From the shotgun, it's Penix. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. A play fake. Now Penix. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Check smash. Warrior 70.
They'll go for it. Here's Penix. And he is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's first and 10. 5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 141 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Let's go now.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. A great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. He's got his man London right side. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Drake London with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Falcons have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Got an open man, it's Pickens. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A little juke. And the Falcons are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Throw left side, there's London. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking deep here for Dobbs. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And when you break it down, you know, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way.